Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, I'll be talking about Impact Wrestling for May 20th, 2021. Now, man, overall with this show, man, this is a really, really good show, man. We had some great matches on this show. Absolutely love the main event with Finn Juice versus Ace Austin and Madman Fulton for not for the AEW Tag Team Championships, the Impact Tag Team Championships, and the aftermath of the match. I love that. The end of the show. Exactly what happened at the end of the show. I really love that too. It wasn't a perfect show. There were some things that I questioned. There was some things that I didn't like, and some stuff on this show didn't make any sense, and there was some stuff that I just didn't even care about. But overall, man, it was a really, really good show, man. And so yeah, and they building up to that next pay per view, which is Against All Odds. That's on June. That's in June, June 12th, Saturday, June 12th. And so yeah, that's their next pay per view, Against All Odds. And so yeah, this is the Impact Wrestling review for May 20th, 2021 on the Ryan Awesome Show. And if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out, because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. You hit the bell, hit the thumbs up first, and then you hit that subscribe button and you turn on that bell for all notifications. And so yeah. So first off, before we got into the show, they showed a graphic of New Jack, of course. New Jack, he had passed away last Friday. So they had showed a tribute graphic to New Jack. So thoughts and prayers go out to his family and all his loved ones and his fans. And so yeah, with New Jack, man, there will never ever be another New Jack, man. I'm telling you, there will never be another New Jack, man. The stuff that he did in his career, man, and in his life, man, that will never be duplicated. Never, never be duplicated. And so yeah, so New Jack, he was, the original gangster, the OG of ECW, man. That that controversial wrestler, that unapologetic wrestler, the original. I said this last time. I didn't say it in my video, but I said it before. He's the original purveyor of violence. He's the original purveyor of violence. He's more violent than most of these deathmatch wrestlers today. And so yeah, man. So yeah, thoughts and prayers go out to his family and his friends and everybody that know New Jack. And just like what I said before, man, there will never be another New Jack, man. Never be another New Jack. And so yeah, to start off the show, we had a match, and it was a one-on-one match. It was Rohit Raju with Shera in his corner versus Jake something. And so yeah, with this match, it was okay, but I really didn't care about this match. I like Raju, but with Jake, man, I don't know what they doing with him. But yeah, so to start off the match, we had a forearm to Raju, and we had a baseball drop kick to Jake off of the distraction. So Jake, he had got distracted by Shera. And so yeah, so Shera, he had took out Jake outside of the ring behind the referee's back, so the ref didn't see it. And we had a boot to the side of Jake's head from Raju, and then Raju, he had targeted Jake's arm. And so Raju, he had dropped a Steve Austin elbow drop, so that was nice. And so Jake, he was fighting back. He had a corner spear to Raju, and we had a discus clothesline. So Jake something, he had a discus clothesline to Raju, so that was nice, paying homage to Mr. Brody Lee. And so Raju, he had kicked out of the move. And so we had a jumping knee to Jake, followed up by a corner boot to Jake. And then he had a pay dirt. He hit the pay dirt to Jake, and Jake had kicked out. And we had a crossface submission move to Jake, and then Jake, he had overpowered it. And then at one point, towards the end of the match, or the end of the match, we had Jake, he tried to suplex Raju. And so he had him in a suplex position. And so you had Shera from outside of the ring. He grabbed at Jake's foot. And so Raju, he had fell right on top of Jake. And so Shera, he had held on to Jake's foot while Raju was on top of Jake. And so Raju had pinned he had pinned Jake to win the match. So Rohit Raju wins the match, and that was it. And then right after the match, you had Jake. He had attacked Shera. He was upset that Shera had cost him the match, and so he had attacked Shera. He had hit him with a chair, and then right after that, he had speared Shera through the table. And so, yeah, the table broke, but, you know, Jake, he didn't, Shera, he did not go through the table. Shera did not go through the table. It was Jake went through the table instead of Shera. Shera barely hit the table, but Jake, he went through the table. And so, yeah, that was it with that. It was okay. It was a good match, but I really don't know why Jake is losing. I really don't know. Jake should have won this match because this is the second time that he got screwed over by Raju and Shera. When he had that qualifying match for that six-way match, the qualifying match when it was against Chris Bay and Raju had cost him the win, and so now he got screwed over again. And it's like Jake, man, like I don't know what they're doing with him though. I don't know what they are doing with him. Like he's on it's like he's on a losing streak, dude. It's like he's not interested. He's not interesting. He's not I'm at that point that I don't even care about Jake anymore. Like I really don't, man. Like what is his purpose? Like why is he here? Like what is he here to do? His name is Jake something. How are you gonna get over with a name like Jake something? I really don't know, man. I really do not know. But yeah, but first off, you broke him away from Diener. They were a tag team. Diener doing his thing in Violent by Design. And Jake, you gave him his own character. He stood for something. And that's why you call him Jake something. So you repackage somebody as Jake something. Why are they not winning? Why are they not winning? And so yeah, man. So we might see another match with these guys. But yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had a backstage interview from Gia Miller. She interviews Taylor Wilde, and so they were talking about the aftermath of Under Siege and all that stuff. Their match.
Taylor Wilde, congratulations on your win at Under Siege against Kimberly and Susan, along with Tenille.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Thank you, I appreciate it, but that's not why I came back to Impact Wrestling after being retired.
For a decade, she's been retired.
For the Knockouts title, and I'm gonna bring Deonna Purrazzo a whole symphony of pain.
So yeah, she wants the Impact Knockouts not the tag team champions, but the Impact Knockouts championship. And so yeah, that was her focus the entire time. Ever since she came back to wrestling. And Tenille Dashwood, she wants to team up with Taylor Wilde to go after the tag team titles, but Taylor Wilde, she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to. She want to do things her way. She wants to do it alone.
I'm sorry, Taylor.
You got Tenille Dashwood and Kaleb with a K.
Hey, fancy seeing you here. Swear I wasn't eavesdropping, but I heard very closely what you were saying, and I'm excited too.
So excited.
For two reasons.
So excited.
Number one, Caleb's neck's better.
100%.
His neck was already better.
And number two, more importantly, we went to Scott's office. We got Tenille, a singles match with Kiera Hogan.
And why that match was made, I don't even know.
If I can beat one half of the tag team champions, well, that puts us in line for the Knockouts Tag Team Championship.
Okay, yeah.
Guys, we've lost the plot again. I'm here to be Knockouts champion. We did our thing, but we're not a team. And watching what Kaleb did at Under Siege, you guys cheating. Guys,
Yeah,
it's
they
not
cheated.
how I roll, okay? And Kaleb, stop FaceTiming me. I'm not answering.
Hey, why did I say no? I was just trying to get some stuff.
But yeah.
Gia, were you eavesdropping this whole time?
Yeah, that was.
Rude.
But yeah, that was it with that. Taylor Wilde, she still doesn't want to team up with them. Like time after time again, she's still telling them, "Hey, I don't want to team with you guys. I don't want to team with you. I don't want to tag team with you guys. I'm not your friend. So I want the Impact Knockouts Championship." And then yeah, so they made it into a match later that night. Kiera Hogan versus Tenille Dashwood, and if Tenille Dashwood can beat Kiera Hogan, one half of the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champions, then they'll get a tag team title match. And so I was like, dude, come on, man. Like, why do we need to pin a championship? Like, why we have to beat a champion in order to get a championship match? That's not how it's supposed to work, man. You're supposed to build up wins to get a title shot. But they do it the opposite way. And so yeah, right after that, we had another backstage interview. Gia Miller, she interviews Racheal Ellering. Racheal Ellering and Jordynne Grace, the former tag team champions, former Knockouts tag team champions. And so yeah, she talked to them about them losing their championships to Fire and Flavor. Still don't know why they lost the titles to Fire and Flavor.
Excuse me, Racheal Ellering, Jordynne Grace. I just wanted to get a few words from you about losing the tag team
Yeah.
titles at Under Siege.
No problem, Gia. It's been hard, you know. Obviously, it's disappointing for us. We both care so much. We're both competitive and passionate about this. But there's nothing we can do about it now. You know, we just have to dust ourselves off, pick
Oh.
ourselves back up, and get back out
Well,
there.
you see Jordynne Grace's face?
I think that you're exactly right. And Gia, we do need to get back out there. So I think I'm going to go talk to Scott and see if we can get back out there.
Oh, just walked past her. So yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, so she went to Scott D'Amore's office to, make a match, or to get back on track rather. And so yeah, that was it with that. Still don't know why they lost the titles to Fire and Flavor. Like, I really don't know. Like, first off, you had Racheal Ellering, you had her debut on Impact and win the tag team titles from Fire and Flavor. And so I didn't like that at all. And then they lost the titles back to Fire and Flavor. And at that point I was like, dude, what was the point of taking the titles off of Fire and Flavor if you were gonna give it back to them? So yeah, man, I didn't get that. I didn't get that at all. And so yeah, that was it with that, man. So yeah, right after that we had a match, and it was Kiera Hogan, who is one half of the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champions, with Tasha Steelz, who is the other half of the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champion rather, versus Tenille Dashwood with Kaleb with a K. And so yeah, to start off the match, we had a double underhook suplex to Hogan. She kicked out. And we had a tarantula on the ropes to Hogan. And we had a neckbreaker on the ropes to Hogan. And we had a super kick to Dashwood. And then Hogan, she had took control of the match during a commercial break. No picture in picture. And we had a corner kick to Dashwood right in her face. She squared her right in her face with that move. And we had a clothesline to Hogan. And both of these ladies, they were reversing each other's signature moves. And then right after that, to end the match, we had a roll up to Kiera Hogan to win the match. So Tenille Dashwood wins the match. And that was it with that. Again, not a fan of champions losing. Like, I don't understand why champions need to lose on national television in non-title matches and all that stuff. Like, if you want a championship match, you should win. You should win like your matches and not beat the champion. You gain some wins, you get some wins first, and then you have a championship match. You don't just beat the champion and just get a number one contender spot. That's not how it works. You're supposed to beat every single contender for that title. You don't see Kenny Omega losing on TV in non-title matches. You don't see Roman Reigns losing on TV in non-title matches. No. You're supposed to build up a challenger by having that challenger build up wins. That's how you become a challenger for a championship. That's how it's supposed to be. But they doing the same thing Raw does. Raw and SmackDown does. And so yeah. So yeah, right after that we had after the match, we had Tasha Steelz, she had attacked Tenille Dashwood, and then Hogan, she had joined in on the attack. And Kaleb, he tried to help out, but he got taken out by Deonna Purrazzo, Kimberly, and Susan. And so they took out Dashwood and Kaleb. And Taylor Wilde, she had came out to help, but the numbers had caught up to them. So it was Deonna Purrazzo, Susan, Kimberly, and Fire and Flavor fighting the baby faces and all that stuff. And then Taylor Wilde, she tried to help out, but it wasn't working. And then Havoc had came out with a theme music. And dude, I still don't get why the theme music needs to play. Just come out to the ring and help your friends. And so yeah, so Havoc, she had even the odds. She had took off the heels. She had took out the heels, and the heels, they had retreated. They got out of the ring. They ran away. And so Decay music had played. Still again, I don't know why the theme music needs to play. Just come out to the ring. So it was Decay. It was Rosemary, Crazy Steve, and Black Taurus. They had blocked the heels from going into the back, so they had ran off into the crowd. The heels did, and so that was it with that. Really, really bad. This was terrible, man. This was absolutely terrible. Like the way that the fight had came off and stuff like that, the brawl, it was terrible, man. Like it felt like that they were not fighting. It was like they were kitty fighting. They were play fighting. That's what it was. That's what it came off as. But they were not fighting. And then having one person theme music come off and all that stuff. I like, dude. I don't like that, man. Just come out to the ring, dude. It's like, dude. It just feels. It don't feel real. It don't feel natural. Like if you seeing somebody in trouble and you want to help them out, just run out to the ring. You don't need your theme music to play. Just run out to the freaking ring. And so yeah, that was it with that, man. And so yeah, right after that we had a backstage segment. It was Jordynne Grace and Racheal Ellering again, and you know they were talking. They were talking again, and so Grace, she had came back. She had came back into the locker room. She was talking to Racheal Ellering, and Grace had said that she talked to Scott D'Amore and has gotten them a match. So she had went to Scott D'Amore and gotten them a match. And so Racheal Ellering, she was like, okay, that's cool. Who are we fighting? Who are we fighting? And so Grace, she had said each other. We are fighting each other. And so Ellering, she had this confused look on her face, like what? We're fighting each other. And so that was it. And so yeah, so a heel turn is coming, man. A heel turn is coming. I can see it. It's coming. And so yeah, right after that, we had a vignette. And so next week it will be Kojima, legendary Kojima from New Japan Pro Wrestling. He is coming to the Impact Zone next week. And yeah, that was it with that. I'm not really familiar with many New Japan talent, but Kojima from New Japan Pro Wrestling is coming to the Impact Zone, so that should be good. And so yeah, right after that we had a backstage interview from Gia Miller. She interviews Finjuice, the Impact World Tag Team Champions. That's David Finlay and Juice Robinson. And so, and they were talking about Gallows and Anderson, the Good Brothers, and their tag team championship reign and all that stuff.
You two will be defending your Impact Tag Team titles against Ace Austin and Madman Fulton, a team that's been gunning for the titles for quite a while.
That's Juice,
and just
Juice and Finlay.
Other tag teams at once in order to get this opportunity.
Madman Fulton, one of the best big men wrestling today. Ace Austin, former X Division champion, bright future. And as you mentioned, they just beat 3 teams.
Yep, 3 teams
against us.
Finjuice.
Impact World Tag Team Champions.
Tag Team Champions.
Now this is going to be a challenge for us, but we are used to difficult challenges. How we came in, we said we're going to beat the Good Brothers.
And you did.
Did it.
Yep.
They said they were going to beat us. We said, no, we're going to beat you and keep these championships. And we did just that. So here we are saying, we're going to beat Madman Fulton. We are going to beat Ace Austin. Because we're the Impact World Tag Team Champions. Isn't that right, Bruce?
Yep.
This is what we wanted, Gia. This is what we wanted. And I'm telling you right now, we're not looking past these guys tonight.
Yeah, you better not.
We are going back to Japan. And we are going back to Japan. And trust me, there are a lot of teams chomping at the bit.
Oh, yeah.
Lined up around the block.
Better believe it, man. Better believe it.
Puppies right here, the Impact World titles. We said we're the best, and we mean it. That journey starts tonight. We put the Good Brothers to bed. Tonight,
Too bad.
Fulton and Austin to bed. Then we go to Japan. Yoshihashi Goto, step up, will knock you down. Tamatonga, Tongaloa, later.
Gorillas of Destiny.
Hasta la vista, baby. Then we'll be back here, and we'll keep kicking ass, and we will keep driving home that we are the best tag team, not only in New Japan, not only in Impact, but all of professional wrestling
In the world. And so yeah, that was it with that. So yeah, that was the main event later that night. It was Finjuice versus Ace Austin and Madman Fulton, who won their #1 contender spot at Under Siege. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, that turned out to be a really great match at the main event. And so yeah, right after that we had another match. It was VSK versus Petey Williams, the Canadian Destroyer, Petey Williams. And so yeah, this is a really good match right here. And so yeah, we had a tilt-a-whirl head scissors to VSK. We had an over-the-top rope hurricanrana to VSK. We had a springboard DDT to Williams. So VSK was fighting back. We had knee drops to Williams, a body slam follow up by a standing frog splash to Williams. That was very nice. We had a corner boot to Williams. We had a German suplex to VSK, followed up by a running knee to VSK. And we had a tilt-a-whirl Russian leg sweep to VSK, so that was really nice. And we had an Irish curse backbreaker to Williams. And we had a pop-up powerbomb to VSK. And to end the match, he followed up with a Canadian Destroyer to VSK to win the match. So Petey Williams wins the match. And that was it. That was it with the match. Really, really good match. Great back and forth. These two have great chemistry. They look like they've been in the ring before. And so yeah, I like with this match, I would love to see VSK. I would love to see more of VSK. But this was more than an enhancement match. It wasn't a squash match or anything. It was nothing more than an enhancement match. But yeah, I would like to see VSK more, man. You know, he had a great showing the last time he was on Impact against El Phantasmo. And I said that, you know, VSK, he looked better than El Phantasmo. He had a better showing than El Phantasmo. And El Phantasmo is good. He's really good. And, you know, I'll have VSK. I'll sign VSK to Impact Wrestling. I'll sign him to Impact Wrestling and have him vie after the X Division Championship, contend for the X Division Championship. That's what I would do, man. Have him do something, man. Have him go after something. This dude is way too good, man. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that we had a backstage interview, and it was Gia Miller. She interviews Rich Swann, the former Impact World Champion, former Universal, former Unified Impact World Champion. And so yeah, they were talking about, you know, Kenny Omega and all that stuff. Him losing to Omega. And Rich Swann, he said that, you know, I felt the pain that Omega had gave me and all that stuff. And, you know, and he focused his attention on W. Morrissey. So he was talking about him, W. Morrissey.
Rich, this past Saturday at Under Siege was the first time we have seen you since losing your Impact World title at Rebellion to Kenny Omega. What
Got that
prompted
pink
you to
blazer on.
return that night?
You know, Rebellion, biggest match of my career, biggest match for this industry.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much riding on it, and man,
Yep.
I lost.
Yep.
No ifs, ands, buts about it. I lost.
Yep.
And, you know, in that match, it was hard hitting, it was physical, and not only did I feel that pain physically,
Yeah.
I felt it mentally. But at the end of the day,
Yep.
when I was sitting at home recovering, thinking, I've watched Impact Wrestling week
Yep.
in and week out, and there's one man that's come in here,
Yeah.
and he's done the same exact
thing,
that
man.
Kenny Omega did when he did.
Yep.
When he arose here.
Yep.
My man, W. Morrissey.
Yep.
You come in here, and I'm not claiming to be a gatekeeper of Impact Wrestling, but when you could come in here and make a great name for yourself, be uplifting, everybody knows your story. You come in here and instead of helping build Impact up, you come in and try to destroy it.
Yeah.
I'm not down with that. And see, at Under Siege, when you picked my...
Oh, God. Damn. He's dropped that dude. He dropped him. Oh. The music stopped and all that stuff. Took off the blazer. Absolutely annihilated this guy. Oh, my God. And so yeah, man, that was it with that. W. Morrissey attacked Rich Swann backstage. And yeah, man, so yeah, we might have another match. We might be having a match between W. Morrissey and Rich Swann. Or the tag team match. We might have the tag team match with Willie Mack and W. Morrissey and maybe Enzo Amore, but I don't think Enzo is coming to Impact. So it might be just a one-on-one match between Swann and W Morrissey, since W Morrissey already beat Willie Mack and all that stuff. So yeah, we might be seeing Rich Swann versus W Morrissey. And so yeah, I'm guessing W Morrissey will win the match because he needs to win more. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had the Swingers Palace. We had the Swingers Palace. Yeah, TJP, Johnny Bravo. Yeah, Johnny Swinger, Swingerellas. Yeah, Johnny Bravo right here. TJP with his broom. Betting. What we betting on today? Oh, Fallout Bar. Doing there. Oh man. Oh my God, what is he doing? Oh, what are you doing?
It worked for Marmarella.
I'm a
A ballerella.
Swinger, what do we need to do to clear his debt?
Roll a hard 8-ball, Daddy. He's a good kid. I trained him.
Yeah, man. Hey.
Good luck, Marmarella. You. Not you.
Oh wow.
Get over here. I need you.
So that's it. He won.
Partner back. And under siege, I had to tackle Petey Williams. Did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
You went around.
Dude, look at Fallout Bar, man. What is he doing, man? What is he wearing, man? Yeah, Petey Williams had interrupted.
We just have better chemistry is all.
So yeah, so TJP, he was saying that Fallout Bar is a better tag team partner than Petey Williams, and so Petey Williams took offense to that, and so he came in and interrupted these guys.
What? With this Freakzilla?
Freakzilla.
Well, I think I have better chemistry with the X Division champion, Josh Alexander.
Ah,
Really?
Canadian boys.
You know, why don't we do 2-on-2, a nice little tag team match? All right, I'm pretty tight with the boss. He used to be my manager
In Team Canada.
Go set that up right now. Huh?
So yeah, so they're trying to make a match. Petey Williams and Josh Alexander versus Fallout Bar and TJP. So they're trying to make the match. So of course, Josh Alexander and Petey Williams will win because a champion has to win.
Tell me you didn't sell your gear bag.
No, I got my bag in the car.
Oh, Decay.
This has got to be the creepiest place that I have ever been.
Creepy. Talk about creepy. Definition of creepy.
Hey, just because I gave you the boot as my young boy, you're not gonna come in here with the dungeon and do. Look, Nino, it's the Zodiac. Yes, no, yes, no.
Oh, they have history.
You're looking so much more lively than the last time we saw you.
Johnny Bravo and Rosemary, they have history with each other. They got married. I think they get married on the show one time. Oh, I don't even remember.
Senor Hernandez, sap him back to the Outlaws.
Oh, Black Teruse, Hernandez.
Hold on, boys. We don't need to be told when we're not welcome. There's exactly 9
Yeah,
more
man.
reasons than we care for in here, but you haven't heard the last of us.
And so they disappeared. Disappeared.
Your ex is worse than all 9 of mine, Daddy, down in Texas.
Oh wow, dude. And so yeah, that was it with that, with the Swingers Palace. And so yeah, that was it with the Swingers Palace. And so right after that, we had Moose, the #1 contender for the Impact World Championship. Moose, he came out to the ring dressed in his suit, and he spoke about Kenny by God Omega. And he was talking about Omega and everything. Talking about saying that all the guys that Omega has beaten in the past, Moose is better than them, and that they'll never lace up his boots and all that stuff. And then he talked about, the gods of pro wrestling and all that stuff. He talked about, the gods, Poseidon, the god of the sea, Ares, the god of war. And so Omega, he had interrupted him.
I understand you've beaten a lot of great
wrestlers.
Moose is my guy right there, man. Moose.
Guys like Okada.
Yep.
Guys like Chris Jericho.
Yeah, Le Champion.
Even tough psychopaths like John Moxley.
Yeah, John Moxley.
But I'm a different evil, Kenny. I'm a 6'5", 300 pounds of full muscle.
Full muscle.
Most athletic guy in professional wrestling.
Yep.
A 5-star athlete. A walking legend.
Walking legend, baby.
And none of those guys you beat can even lace up my boots. And hell, we're not even talking about what I did before I got into professional wrestling when I dominated the National Football League for 7 long years.
And so, yeah, that was it with that part. And so, yeah, so that's when Moose started to bring up, you know, the guide to pro wrestling and all that stuff. Saying how Omega called himself the god of pro wrestling, and Moose saying that he was the undisputed god of pro wrestling and all that stuff. And so Omega had interrupted him.
This man right here might just be the most physically talented person in all of pro wrestling.
Wait, more than me?
Well,
He said more than
I
me.
I think he's just bigger. I mean, look at him. I mean, let's give the devil his due here. He's a big guy.
Big guy.
We like big guys, don't we? We
Oh
love
my
big
God.
guys.
We love big guys.
But Moose, with all that talent, you think you're just going to coast in and beat Kenny Omega, the god of
Yeah.
pro wrestling?
Don't squander that talent away, Moose. You've come this far, buddy.
Moose.
Oh, man, Moose
There's
is
nothing
pissed.
sadder
He is pissed off.
on this earth than wasted talent, especially abundant talent like yours.
Oh,
Moose,
look
your
at his
problem
face.
is you've had all the talent, but none of the results.
Oh,
Couldn't even win a title in Ring of Honor.
oh, wow.
Moose, how many world titles have you won?
Hmm.
He's won 3 just in the last few weeks.
Yep.
Count 'em, buddy.
Moose, I don't want
Count 'em.
to press any buttons here, but how many Super Bowls did you win?
Hmm.
Talk about your glorious football career. All this talent, no rings? Let me quote J.J. Watt, a guy who probably burned you for a number of sacks in your career.
Wow.
He said, "Success isn't owned, it's leased, and the rent is due every day."
Hmm.
Are you paying the rent, Moose? I mean, are you really putting in the work, or are you just coasting on your talent?
And so, yeah, that was it with that first part. That was it with the first part. And yeah, so Don Callis, he was still talking. He was still, you know, talking trash to Moose and all that stuff. And so Moose, he said that, you know, I'm not Rich Swann. I'm not Rich Swann. I'm not about to let you talk to me any type of way you want to. If you say one more thing about me, dude, I will rip your head off and I'm gonna shove it straight up at Kenny Omega's ass. And so that's what Moose had said. And so Omega, he had grabbed the mic and stuff like that. And he was talking to Moose, and he said that, you know, all it takes is one winged angel, and that's it, and it's over. And so Moose, he was like, you think you're gonna get me up? You think you're gonna pick me up in a one-winged angel? You think you're gonna get me up in a one-winged angel? And so Omega, you know, he had called out the Good Brothers and all that stuff. You know, if you messing with me, you messing with all of us. And so the Good Brothers had came out, they tried to gang up on Moose. And so Sami Callihan had came to the ring. They did his hack. They did his hack, and so the lights had cut off. And so, yeah, went into the ring. He was in the ring with a baseball bat, and so they chased off the Elite. And that was it. That was it with that. And so, right after that, we had Sami Callihan. He was backstage with Moose. This is the aftermath.
Callihan. I hope you're not
Ooh.
expecting me to tell you thank you. That's not why I stopped you. I stopped you to tell you that I didn't need your help.
Thank you?
I had things under control.
From you, I'm not expecting a thank you. I know you don't need my help. You're 8 foot tall. You're the most imposing person on the Impact Wrestling.
8 foot tall.
I came out and did what I did because Kenny and the Good Brothers, I'm getting sick of them running roughshod under my company. Just know this, Moose. I don't care how big you are. I don't care who Kenny is. Whoever wins at Against All Odds, I'm coming back for what's rightfully mine.
And so, yeah, that was it with that, you know. So Sami Callihan, he already calling dibs. He calling dibs on the world championship. So whoever wins, he said that he's next, man. And so yeah, like I'm still iffy about this match. You know, I don't want Moose to lose clean. So I think Sami Callihan, I don't know. I don't know what it is. They either might make it a triple threat match. They might make it a triple threat match, or Sami Callihan, he gonna get involved in the match, or somebody will get involved in the match to screw Moose over because you are not about to clean. You're not about to beat Moose clean. Now Moose, he will lose. He will lose to Omega, but him losing clean, that's what you don't want to do. That's what you don't want to do. You do not want to do that. And so, you know, Moose is a big guy. He's a big guy, so you need to cheat. You need to cheat to beat him. And so yeah, I said this like in the sacrifice review. It was a sacrifice review. It was either Rich Swann or Moose winning that unified title. And you have to question like which person do you want to lose to Kenny Omega? Do you want Moose to lose to Kenny Omega, or do you want Rich Swann to lose to Kenny Omega? And I pick Rich Swann. Rich Swann, I'd much rather have him lose to Kenny Omega than Moose. And so yeah, so Moose, man, I don't want to see him lose, man. But Omega, man, Omega is not losing that title, man. He is not losing that title to anybody. And so yeah, that was it with that. That was it with the segment, the promo segment from Moose and Kenny Omega. And so yeah, right after that we had a match, and it was Racheal Ellering versus Jordynne Grace. And so yeah, both of these ladies, they try to outmaneuver each other in the start of the match. And then Grace, she had hesitated. She had hesitated to kick Ellering right in the face. And Grace, she had tripped up Ellering from outside the ring. And we had a sliding clothesline to Ellering, and she kicked out. And we had a full Nelson submission to Ellering, and Ellering, she had fought out of it. And we had a flying European uppercut to Grace, followed up by a running senton bomb to Grace. And we had a double knees into the corner to Ellering. And we had a corner elbow to Ellering. And then Grace, she had went for the Vader bomb, but she missed. And then both were trading roll-ups. And then Ellering, she got the better of it. So Ellering, she had pinned Jordynne Grace to win the match. So Racheal Ellering wins the match. And so right after the match, they both showed respect. So they were both embracing each other. And at that point, I thought Jordynne Grace was going to attack. I thought she was going to attack Racheal Ellering, but that didn't happen. And at that point, I was like, man, why didn't it happen? Why didn't it happen? Should have happened. But yeah, so yeah, heel turn is coming, man. Heel turn is coming for Jordynne Grace. It is coming. Who else is she gonna blame, dude? She made the match. She made the match. She didn't even have to. She didn't even have to make the match. She did not have to make that match against Racheal Ellering. But yeah, she made the match and she lost. So she don't have nobody else to blame but herself. And so yeah. So it's gonna be at that point where Jordynne Grace, she'll lose again to somebody. She'll lose, and then she'll just unload. She'll unload on somebody, and that somebody is Racheal Ellering. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that we had Brian Myers, the most professional wrestler. He had spoke about Matt Cardona. He was talking about Matt Cardona and all that stuff, saying that Matt Cardona is a joke.
Everybody here at Impact Wrestling's had a real kick out of calling me Bad Mood Brian.
Bad Mood Brian.
Everything I've said has been justified. I thought when I beat Matt Cardona at Rebellion, he'd be gone forever, because I didn't want him here in the first place. But no. Then I'm forced to face him in a qualifying match.
Yeah.
And he steals a victory on me, but goes on to lose. What a waste of a spot. I beat Black Taurus at Under Siege.
Yep.
I could have been in that spot.
Uh-oh, there you go. Matt Cardona.
Hey, Matt!
Oh. Ripped off on a necklace. Oh. Throw him into the cameraman. And that was it, man. So yeah, Brian Myers, he attacked Matt Cardona. Now we might have another match with Matt Cardona and Brian Myers. Now I don't know about this one. We've seen it already, but I'm giving the win to Brian Myers since Cardona already have a win over him. And so yeah, I will send Brian Myers after the X Division title, man. Send him after the X Division championship, man. Just like what he said, man. He beat Black Taurus, man. He beat Black Taurus and Crazy Steve. Why not have him vie after the X Division championship? Have him vie after that championship, because All right, now he ain't doing nothing. Why not? Why not go after the championship, man? He deserves it. He deserved to go after the championship. And so yeah, so we might see another match with these guys, and the winner will go after the X Division Championship. And yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, so right after that we had the main event, which was the best match on the show for me, man. The best match on the show. So yeah, it was for the Impact World Tag Team Championships, and it was Ace Austin and Madman Fulton versus FinJuice as Juice Robinson and David Finlay, who are the Impact Tag Team Champions. And so yeah, so Austin at the start of the bell, Austin he had tagged in Fulton, and then Fulton he had used his strength against Finlay, and we had shoulder tackles to Fulton from Juice, but Fulton was still standing up, and then Fulton he had hit a shoulder tackle of his own to Juice Robinson, and FinJuice they had targeted Fulton's arm by giving quick tags and all that stuff, and we had a double bulldog to Fulton from FinJuice, we had a drop kick to Austin from Finlay, and we had a double team moves to Austin from FinJuice, and we had a double flapjack to Fulton from FinJuice, and then Austin, you know, he had gave Juice a paper cut with his ace card behind the referee's back so the ref didn't see it. And we had a leg lariat to Austin from Juice Robinson that absolutely leveled this guy, knocked him the hell out, man. And so yeah, we had a hot tag to Finlay. He had took out Austin and Fulton. And we had an outside dive to Fulton from Finlay. And we had an Irish curse backbreaker to Austin from Finlay. And we had a Russian leg sweep followed up by a big boot to Austin from FinJuice. And we had Juice Robinson, he hit his jabs on Fulton. And we had a tilt-a-whirl power slam to Juice from Fulton. And we had a double team move to Juice from Austin and Fulton. And we had a choke slam blockbuster combo to Juice Robinson from Austin and Fulton. And then Finlay, he had broke up the pin at the right time. If Finlay was not there, the match would have been over. We would have been seeing new Impact Tag Team Champions. And so yeah, we had a stunner to Fulton from Finlay. We had a superplex to Austin from Finlay. And to end the match, we had Juice Robinson. He hit the unprettier or the kill switch, whatever you want to call it, to Fulton to win the match. So FinJuice, they win the match and are still the Impact Tag Team Champions. Well, at least for right now they are. And so yeah, this is an awesome match, man. Really awesome match. Great back and forth with these teams, man. Great title defense, man, from FinJuice. And so yeah, right after that, we had Violent by Design. We had Violent by Design. That's Eric Young, Rhino, Diener, and Joe Doring. They came out to the ring, and I said we had tag team. FinJuice are the tag team champions for right now. So yeah, so Violent by Design came out to the ring, and at that point I was like, yes. Yes, Violent by Design, my guys are here. And so yeah, so Rhino, so you had Joe Doring. He was dressed in wrestling gear. He was dressed in his wrestling gear. You had Rhino dressed in his wrestling gear, and you had Diener and Eric Young not dressed in their wrestling gear. And so yeah, we had Rhino. He had came out with a trophy, and so it was kind of like the Money in the Bank. It's kind of like the Money in the Bank, I guess, where you get a tag team championship match whenever he wants, anytime and anywhere. Same rules as the Money in the Bank. And so yeah, he cashed in. He cashed in the trophy. And so the tag team match was tonight. It was right now, right after the match, right after FinJuice went through hell, you know, with Ace Austin, my God, Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. So yeah, so FinJuice, they were beat down. Right after they matched with Fulton and Austin. And so yeah, so it was FinJuice versus Violent by Design. That's Rhino and Joe Doring. So that's a great pick from Violent by Design to represent the tag team division from Violent by Design. So that was my original pick. Rhino and Joe Doring. And so yeah, so FinJuice, they try to fight off Rhino and Doring. And we had a double crossbody to FinJuice from Doring, which was nice, which was freaking explosive at that. And we had a gore to Finlay from Rhino. And then in the match, we had a short arm clothesline to Juice Robinson from Doring to win the match. So Violent by Design wins the match and are the new Impact World Tag Team Champions. And so this was unexpected, dude. This was unexpected. And so yeah, at first I wanted to know why they were out there. At first I was glad that they were out there, but I didn't know why they were out there. And so yeah, but I didn't know there was gonna be a cash in. I didn't know anything about no cash in, no trophy or nothing. And so yeah, it was unexpected though, really unexpected. And Violent by Design, they deserved that win. They deserved it. And so yeah, so I thought they were gonna save it for a pay-per-view. I thought they were gonna come out and just say, "Hey, we want a tag team championship match," and they would have gotten it at against all odds, I guess. And so yeah, man. And so yeah, so I was, you know, in the Under Siege review, when they had the tag team contendership match, I was asking, man, why wasn't Violent by Design in this match? Why wasn't Violent by Design in this match? Why wasn't they in that match? That's what I was asking. And the pairing I would have picked Rhino and Diener, not Rhino and Diener, Rhino and Joe Doran to go after the titles. And lo and behold, we have Rhino and Joe Doran. They came after the tag team titles and they won. They won the Impact Tag Team Championships. And so yeah, man, who would take those titles off of them? Absolutely no freaking body. Nobody. Nobody are taking those titles away from them. Nobody. Now, FinJuice, they might get their rematch because they have automatic rematch clauses in Impact Wrestling. And like when you lose your championship, you have an automatic rematch clause in Impact Wrestling. So we might get a rematch. We might get a rematch at Against All Odds. And FinJuice, they will not win. They will not win their titles back. They will not. And so yeah, so Violent by Design, they are the Impact Tag Team Champions, and that was it, man. That was it. Now, man, since they're the Impact Tag Team Champions, man, I would love to see them go to AEW Dynamite, man. I would love to see more Impact stars show up on AEW, man, and vice versa, man. But more Impact stars showing up on AEW, man. It'll be great. It'll be great for them to do that. You know, at first I was thinking, man, maybe FinJuice can go over to Dynamite. They can go over to Dynamite and go after the Bucks, I guess, or fight the Bucks or anybody in that tag team division. But send Rhino and Joe Doran over there and send them after Eddie Kingston and John Moxley. I would do something like that. That's unexpected. Like they probably wouldn't make enough impact. They probably wouldn't have that much impact if they came in and attacked John Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Maybe, maybe not. A lot of people may not know who Joe Doring is, but a lot of people know who Rhino is, though. A lot of people know who Rhino is and Eric Young. Not so much Diener. But, can you imagine, though? Can you imagine Violent by Design showing up in AEW, man? Can you imagine that, bro? Can you imagine Violent by Design showing up in AEW or anybody in that locker room in Impact Wrestling? Because Impact Wrestling, they have a great roster, dude. They have a great roster. Can you imagine anybody from that locker room showing up on Dynamite, dude? Like a Moose or, a Chris Sabin or a Rich Swann or a Willie Mack or, Violent by Design. Anybody, bro. Anybody in that locker room. Can you imagine anybody in that locker room showing up on Dynamite, man? That would be epic. But, man, go ahead and use the partnership, man. They haven't been using it properly. They haven't been using it, dude. The only people from Impact that's showing up on Dynamite is the Good Brothers, man. It's the Good Brothers and Don Callis. Those are the only ones, dude. And send some of the women over there. Send some of the knockouts there to AEW. Deonna Purrazzo, send her over there. Send her at the Britt Baker or somebody down there. Have a champion versus champion match, I guess. Man, just have fun with it. Have fun with the freaking partnership, dude. But they're not doing any partnerships right now, man. They're partners, but they're not exchanging talent. Exchange talent, bro. But yeah, man, that was it with the show, man. That was it with the show. Great main event, man. Good show. Really good show, man. Absolutely loved the main event. Great matches. Great matches on the show, man. The main event was a great match. Violent by Design are the new Impact World Tag Team Champions. And what they do next with the titles, I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, man, this is Impact Wrestling. Really good show. Wasn't the best show, but it was a really good show. There were some things I didn't like on the show, but overall, man, it was a really good show. And so, yeah, man. So, yeah, that was it with the review for Impact Wrestling for May 20th, 2021 on The Ryan Awesome Show. And if you like this video, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out. Because I am here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. You hit the thumbs up first. You subscribe to the channel. You turn on that bell for all notifications so you don't miss out. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys on Tuesday, I guess. Tuesday for NXT. And yeah, man, if you guys missed my last week's episode, or not my last week's. Oh yeah, you could. Yeah, my last week's episode. No, my Under Siege review. If you missed the Under Siege review for Impact Wrestling, the video is gonna be right up here. And if you missed last week's episode of Impact Wrestling, the video is gonna be right up here, right up here. One of these videos. And so yeah, man. And once again, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you, and thank you, man. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and that's that.